I'm just saying it's fine by me if you never leave, and we can live like this forever.
Welcome everyone to this week's episode of Unrooted Track and Field Edition. And my guest for this week's show was none other than freshman on the track and field roster, Aubrie Usui. Aubrie, thanks so much for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. You're from Honolulu, Hawaii, and a graduate of Iolani School. You ran track and field there, and you played basketball in high school as well. Was there any hope of you going to school for basketball?
I don't really think so, because I kind of hurt my knee and it took me out of the season, but it was ready for track season, so I got a full season. So I ended up with track, but I'm happy about it.
Yeah. Which was your first love, basketball or running?
Basketball.
You play that longer?
Yeah.
Take it? Legend has it that you once tripped over a hurdle in front of the entire baseball team. Now you have to tell that story.
Whew. That was the first time I've ever fully tripped. Like, I caught myself with my hand, but it was still bad because I knew them all and they were all watching. And now whenever I go over a hurdle, they're like, Aubrie, you gotta go over it this time. So it was pretty funny.
Well, I bet you haven't made that mistake again, right?
Nope.
Learn from it, and you're not going to do that again. You're here at Menlo as an accounting major. What gets you excited about accounting?
I was excited to do it because then I can help my family with the business. But when I got here, everyone's like, it's so hard. I hear it's like the hardest major here. So we'll see once I get more into doing it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, having been a student who went here, I'd say it definitely is one of the harder programs at Menlo, but at the same time, it's one of the best. I mean, if you make it through as an accounting major, bless your soul, but you're going to have a good job coming out of it.
Yeah, hopefully.
So I think you picked the right major there. You also have a brother here at Menlo, am I correct?
He doesn't go to school here. He just practices with the baseball team.
Okay. How did you both find Menlo?
You know Dane?
Yes.
He went to Iolani too. Okay. So then my brother knows him through the baseball, and then he just invited him if he ever needed to like bullpen or practice or anything. And then Kamkani introduced me to Menlo because he said it's a good business school, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so there's that natural baseball connection, and it brought you both here. All right, let's talk a little bit about the team specifically. Menlo participated in 3 events over the weekend, and you guys had strong performances across the board. How difficult is that for those who performed at multiple events?
I feel like we all kind of knew what we had to do. We went in with the right mindset. It was hard because the coaches couldn't be everywhere at once. So me and Nisa and Dorian had Coach Scott. Coach Dan was at, I think, Stanford, and then Coach April them were at SF. So it was really hard balancing, but we did it.
Now you are one of the few women to have competed in the Heptathlon for the first time this year.
Yeah.
What's that grind like?
It's really different because each event, it's sort of alike, but totally different at the same time. It's like sometimes I'm on my right leg, then my left leg for another event. You just gotta kind of reset your mind. So it's a good mental practice.
Now, Dorian told me a few weeks ago here on the show that by the end of it, you start to feel kind of pains in places you wouldn't expect to. Is that true, or is that just something that Dorian goes through?
I feel it always in my legs mostly, but it's fun to mix it up. So
never anything like up in the arm area or something? I think Dorian was talking about like maybe the armpit area. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but she was saying it was some sort of weird tingling feeling.
Oh no, my collarbone always hurts for some reason. I don't know why.
You and Anissa Smith both set personal records in the javelin over the weekend in competition. How much stronger do you and everyone else feel at this point in the season compared to where you started?
I think everyone feels a lot stronger and more confident now that we've experienced it a lot. We've gone through several meets, right? So I think we're more comfortable with what we're doing and have a better mindset of what our goals need to be. So I think we're a lot stronger, especially with the weight training. Travis really does a good job with that too, and Coach Dan with us conditioning and keeping our body recovered.
Now, in the middle of a very busy season, as it's been so far for you guys, how important was it for most of you to get the prior weekend off with the Warrior Invitational where not many people competed?
I think that was really key, because when we came back from that weekend, that first practice, we felt really strong. Like, we had a really good hurdle practice, and I think that transferred into our meet at this past weekend, so I think it was crucial.
And of course, having 3 different events to compete in, you definitely needed to have your A game and to be at 100%. The Chico Twilight and Distance Carnival is up next on Friday and Saturday. What have the coaches informed you about this event, and what is your approach going to be?
Our coaches, they didn't have too much information on it, but they told us that it might be storming, so we're still debating. But I think it's called Merritt College? I don't know. But we might do that on Friday, and then Saturday, not much was told.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get maybe a couple meets in, but my approach would be the same as always. I mean, it's a night meet, so it's different, and I'm excited for that. So we'll see how it happens.
Have you ever competed in a nighttime event before?
No. So it should be interesting.
Do you know of anyone on the team that has?
I'm guessing the returnees. I don't know if they did the Chico Twilight last year, but if they did, I'm sure they would know a lot about it.
Now, with weather potentially playing a role, like you said, because it is supposed to rain on Friday and Saturday, perfect for you guys, how does that affect what you guys are able to do out on the track? What kind of challenges does weather create?
I think Coach Dan always told us that it's just a weather factor and we need to push through it. I mean, he never canceled practice when it was storming, and we've always kept going and tried our hardest. I think we've grown mentally strong enough to push through it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's transition to the final segment of the show. It's called Brownie Bites. Aubrie, I'm going to ask you 3 off-the-wall questions. Give me your best answer.
Okay.
Question number 1, what is your favorite part about Trader Joe's?
Oh, I love those Dunkers. It's like oatmeal raisin cookies, and it has like the icing on it. That's so unhealthy, but I mostly try to go there for healthy snacks.
Yeah, but every now and again you gotta support it, right?
Yeah.
It could be the cheat day food item of the week. I think that works. See, I don't shop too much at Trader Joe's, so I don't really know a whole lot of what they got on there, but every time I step in there, I think to myself, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. I need someone to go with me who actually knows about Trader Joe's.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things in there.
And I've heard that you're kind of an expert at Trader Joe's, right?
I like to go there a lot.
Yeah. Question number 2, which sport would have an athlete most likely to trip over a hurdle in front of you?
I don't know. I feel like maybe a wrestler. No offense, it's just they spend a lot of time on the ground.
That's
like,
true.
I have friends that are wrestlers, no offense to them, but I feel like wrestler.
That's true. Might have to get one of them out there, see if they could clear a hurdle.
Definitely.
Have the whole track and field team out there to then kind of get a little bit of payback almost in a way, so that you can kind of avenge that incident back in high school. Question number 3, what is your spirit animal?
I'd like to say a tiger. They're so poised and yet so aggressive at the same time. It's always been my favorite animal. So
kind of quiet at first until you set it off, and then the inner competitiveness comes out.
Yeah, that's what I love.
Yeah. Aubrie, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. And fans, don't forget, it is the Chico Twilight and Distance Carnival this weekend for Menlo College Track and Field. Again, that depends on the weather, which we won't know. But it is set for Friday and Saturday. That's April 7th and 8th. It's up in Chico. And so stay tuned to menloathletics.com for all the information and results from the Chico Twilight and Distance Carnival. We invite you to tune into next week's show when Aubrie Usui will select the next interviewee on Unrooted Track Edition. I'm Brian Brownfield. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
I'm just saying it's